Hello, Lady and the Frogs. Right, looking rough, and I really could have done my makeup this morning because I'm literally leaving for work in an hour. Yeah, an hour. But I don't know. I am not functioning well in January. I never function well in January. I think it is the worst way to start the year. Why would anybody start the year in January? So I'm having a coffee. Honestly, every day I keep thinking, yeah, 7, and then my alarm goes off at 7, and it's like somebody's just come in the room and just shot me in bed. I really don't cope very well. I don't know. November, I was still getting up. I was getting up at 7, and I was doing a workout. I suppose I wasn't in the hours of work that I'm in now, but I did do a bit of it in December up until the point where I got chicken pox. But I didn't feel like the chicken pox was that disabling. Life has just become annoying once I started getting symptoms. What am I talking about? I've always been having symptoms from this new progesterone only pill. But anyway, I mean, I'm still muddling on with things. Having just taken the bed sheets off the bed, though, it's very obvious just how annoying, having a constant period is. But anyway, yeah, today I've got hives all over me. That's why one of the reasons I've stripped the bed. So I know I'm probably going to have a nasty bleed later because I've got, you probably can't even see them because they're really subtle, because that's the thing with hives. They're there and they're here. I've got some on my face. It's probably so I've actually got them there. I really it looks like an allergic reaction. I've got another spot there. That's my chickenpox scar. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's life. So one of the reasons I just thought, do you know what? Just film a video, because other people probably feel the same way. Everybody in January is always like, goals. Yeah, I'm goal setting. This is what I'm going to do. Everything's going to be brilliant. 2025 is going to be the year. And, I've got goals to set, but I don't feel like smashing them in January. I have things which I want to achieve, but just getting through January for me is quite something. The goals I want to do is to start really hitting my debt on my credit cards. However, it's like I was sort of thinking about this, and I've now gone into my overdraft, and I'm sort of feeling like a failure. And then I'm thinking, well, yeah, I did purchase Christmas presents, which is something I don't purchase Christmas presents every month, so that's an expenditure. I also live in this apartment, and every January the service charge goes up. I also have to pay the ground rent, and I have to settle that, otherwise they literally send the bailiffs out. Because last year I forgot to do it, because they're quite timely with their letter in that they send it in November. And last year I forgot about it, and then got the letter saying, you haven't done this, we've just slapped another £100 on it. So I had to ring them up. I paid it straight. I rang them up and I said, if I settle this on the phone, will you waive the rest of this fee? And I did that, and they were like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, just one of those things. But they were like, yes, we can see that you've been on time for the last 8 years, so it's okay. No, the guy was really nice, actually. He was just like, oh, the reason that we do it is because of the knobheads. But yeah, anyway, there is a lot of one-off expenditures which seem to appear at the beginning of the year. And then I beat myself up because I'm like, oh, why have I gone into my overdraft? And I'm going to go spectacularly into my overdraft tomorrow, because tomorrow is the 15th. And I don't know, I just can't cope. I can't cope with adding goal setting to this time of year. I should have washed my hair this morning. Oh, what a twat. I've got time for it now. And the other thing is, like last week, it was just so icy and I kept taking the car everywhere, so I feel sluggish because I haven't been walking to work. So I'm going to walk to work today. I took the car yesterday because we hadn't done the shopping over the weekend, so I had to go and do the shopping because I was like, oh, well, you know, we'd gone through the freezer contents and we were like, well, you know, we just need these few little bits. And, you know, we'll be able to get jacket potatoes at the local co-op. No, we couldn't. We'll be able to get cream at the local co-op. No, we couldn't. So we went to the local co-op with a list of, there was only a list of like 8 things, but the only thing out of that list that we were able to get was milk. So that was great. I'm also probably feeling a bit down because my eBay store has just ground to a halt. It's a complete car crash. I know in my previous video I said that I had more returns open than I did sales, and at that point I think like the 3rd, 4th of January, whatever it was probably the 5th. I don't know. 6 was when we all had to go back into the real world, but I've been in the real world all Christmas. But I think I had I'd certainly had 6 returns open, and I think I'd only made like 4 sales. So I'm making a very limited amount of sales at the minute. The weekend was 0 sales. I'd sold a jumper on the Friday. I suppose it was quite a good. I didn't go out and post that jumper, and this is the reason why I know I'm probably not quite right, because me and my husband, we literally slept all day on Saturday, and that's the point where you like stir and then you don't get up, but then you go back to sleep, and then by the time you're actually getting up, the entire daylight of the day has gone, because I think it was something like 4 o'clock by the time we got up. But I mean, I think sometimes you need that, don't you? And you just have to respond to what your body is saying. Everybody seems to have like a cold, and I haven't, so there are positives. So anyway, today's Tuesday, 14th, because obviously tomorrow is the 15th, because I've got that on my radar that tomorrow is a disaster. This I have sold for 15. I have been begging people to buy stuff off me and sending out really nice offers. I've put a coupon back on. Coupon's done bugger all. Nobody seems to have. I think somebody who's bought this Lego set has used the 20% offer. Somebody who's bought that has used the 20% offer. This person sent an offer of £15 on this, which was listed for 25, and this is new with tags, whistles, and originally this was £75. I know that isn't something you should believe, but it also should mean I could maybe get slightly more than that. But it is a summery top, and never mind. Summery stuff doesn't necessarily sell, but I mean, there we go. The only reason I've decided to just do a quick video is just because I just thought somebody else might need to hear this, because everybody is so bloody positive, and there just seems to be away from reality in terms of what everybody else, like the normal people, are going through. John Smedley, I think this is what I was told. I actually need to check. I honestly do think that it is this. I honestly also think I've got the wrong size bag out now, because that actually looks a lot bigger. This is quite a thin weight knit, and it does have a silvery thing in it. And I nearly left this in the shop because I remember picking this up at Bernardo's and had a massive stain down it. It just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder because I spend a lot of time processing clothes in my day job, and it just makes me wonder what other charity shops do, because they always ask for slightly more money for things than charity shops which get rid of stuff which is stained. £18, like 39. Oh, good. Do you know, I knew that this was precarious when I started using this one. My other one is over there, and I really should. I need to start using the other thingy. This is a brand new setup. This. Do you know what? It's going to do it again, isn't it? Let's be sensible. You know, it's still the time of year when we've got Quality Street tins everywhere, so let's put you on a Quality Street tin. Somebody asked how many of these we actually won on. These are the lottery tickets, so there must have been about 30 odd of them. So there's definitely 24 on the calendar that I had, and then the other one had another 12 on it. So out of what I had, so bear in mind I did send some to my friend. So I mean, maybe she's like one big on hers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 winning scratch cards out of a potential like 30. So there's a reason not to gamble. These are all just £1, which is the face value of what they were. That is absolute garbage. So the lottery is not the way to sort out your finances. This is the last thing anyway that I've sold. This, you know, stuff that we have control over. A Lego set, and I have so many Lego sets that I need to put together. It's ridiculous. So I'm actually going to start sorting this out for me to post it, because I always break it up. I've had one person who put like really weird feedback saying you don't have to partially break down the thing. Well, one of the reasons that I send stuff out sort of partially assembled is to protect the pieces in the post. Because sometimes, if it's, I think that's it. Some people just want it completely disassembled and not partly assembled. Let's face it, some people you just cannot please, whatever happens. I hate doing this actually, because I always feel like I'm going to leave. I have done this once where I accidentally left one piece out of a set, and it just so happened that it was a Christmas present, and then I got one of those shirty messages from a buyer, and they were like, "This ruined Christmas. We were putting the Lego set together and this piece was missing." And I was dead apologetic, and I sent the spare in the post, because obviously, and I've done this before when people have messaged me and they've said, "Oh, this Lego piece was broken." And some of them, it's like some of the stuff which is cast in blue, the vintage stuff of it is brittle. Some of it, if it gets exposed to certain heats or temperatures, it goes all brittle, and it's just one of those things where over time it just breaks. And this was the case in with this message. This was a separate message, and I just said, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And then I sent them another replacement. I think I sent them numerous replacement pieces, and those people have always been very happy. And I think that's the thing though, Lego buyers are so much easier. Right, so this, I always use this because it's strong, but it's not like massively crazy. I've broken that down so that it's flat, and then I'm going to lay it in there, and then I'm going to tape that. I do need to take these ends off because they're in the way, just so that it actually stays protected. It's going in a bubble mailer. I just want it to stay large letter. Yeah, the reason being in that this was a $9.99 set. They've used a coupon, so it's gone for $7.99. I've got free post on my listings, which Lord only knows why. And apparently it makes a difference. I honestly, everything just feels like an old wives' tale at the minute with eBay. you know, it's like I know I want to go gung-ho and put a load of work in it. I honestly feel that once these changes come in, and I know that they're not supposed to affect me as a business seller, but they bloody well will, because once people come on eBay, which they're used to not having buyer's fees on, and they realise that there's buyer's fees, all that they're going to do is send more people to Vinted. You know, I don't know what goes on in these meetings that they have at eBay. Honestly, you know, I've sat in on a lot of management meetings, construction, where I am now, and you know, and you just think, really, honestly, what planet are you going into? Where are you inhabiting? Are they all like millennials? Is it worse than that? Have we got Zennials in charge now? It must be the Zennials. Lord knows. I'm hoping that is large letter. It just feels a bit bulgy. I don't know why. It feels a bit like it isn't large letter. Yeah, anyway, this is going to be a quick video. I don't even think I've got time to upload it. I'm just going to do my post. I'm going to sit here and chill with my coffee, possibly do some of this jigsaw, and then I've got to go to work. And I won't be back here until 8 o'clock at night. And then I'm in work again tomorrow. So I am not going to be able to start work on eBay until Thursday. And sorry, I need to actually see if I've made any sales on my personal account. Do you know, when you've got an old phone, what is going on? I know that's how I turn it on. Have I just lost my mind? I'm one of these people where unless it's like a phone that I'm used to using, I completely lose my mind. It's if Jason hands me his iPhone, I get very confused because I want it to behave like this does. But then I was trying to sort out my workmate's phone yesterday, which is a Google phone, and I could not work out what the hell was going on there. My workmate, I'm trying to encourage her to get into reselling because I'm like, come on, you're here, you know, you work in a charity shop, we've got a better staff discount. Just pick up some bits and flip them. But her phone is so old that none of the apps work on it. You see, this is another thing, that people who have old phones, they're generally the people who like to shop on eBay, and the more and more they add things to their apps, it's like I'm opening eBay on here now, and it's going to be very, very slow because this is Wi-Fi. I mean, I know it's leading off the Wi-Fi, but yeah, it's not happy. And then I had another device which I always used to just sit on the sofa and just casually shop. On my tablet, and then the app for that stopped working because every time they update it, it just makes it useless. Yeah, my personal account, which has 6 items on, it says I can send 3 things. One of them, I think, is me, who's gone into it. So I've done one jigsaw, which is a Jan van Hasteran, and I've got that listed because obviously I do those for myself. I've got one there which I've completed. It's actually got a piece missing. And these are the vintage ones as well. And then I'm in the process of doing this one, which is there. So, yeah, I'm in the process of doing that. So I'm probably just going to bundle them all together because I think when it boils down to it, I'm more likely to sell them as a bundle, and I'm more likely to be thrilled to bits when I sell them as a bundle. But you know, I just, especially at this time of year, I like to have a jigsaw because when I finish work later, I mean, last night though, I finished work late, and after I'd done tea and all this other stuff, and I obviously got to go and do that shopping, I just did not want to get into anything. I just ended up falling asleep on the sofa. I don't know. I really don't. So I probably need to trade in these, wonderful lottery tickets. I'm sure that we had more than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel that there was more than that. I have got that one, which is a slightly better one. This was one of the £5 ones. But we bought 2 of these. Mine was a disaster. Jason's, I think he's got £20 on this, if I'm reading it right. Yeah, so that one was worth getting, the big one. But if I'd only bought like one, that one was the next one in the sequence, and that one was the winner. But I don't know. I honestly think that buying 30 odd of these, I should have had more winners than that. Because that doesn't really work out. If you've got 30, and it's supposed to be 1 in 4, because it does tell you the odds on the back of it. Because I think they legally have 1 in 3.8. 1 in 3.8. Averages are weird. If you actually look at your average, I mean, I don't look at my average selling price on eBay. I should work that out, and it never makes sense. The average, I look at the average selling prices at work, and for the fact that they're supposed to be fixed prices, honestly, yeah. sometimes. Right, so it's coming up to 50:30, and I do need to actually put some makeup on here, because obviously I am somewhat customer facing. Yeah, somewhat, because the influx of donations is happening. It has already happened. So if your charity shop has the signs up, it's probably because they don't have the storage capacity at Cancer Research, where I'm working. We did empty the pens between Christmas and New Year. We emptied the pens, and subsequently we got some stock from another shop. And now the donations have started rolling in from the public, so we've got a lot to process. So, if you're finding that it's the same staff at your charity shops, it's probably because the volunteers haven't necessarily been there, because they've been, they've still got a Christmas hangover, but the stuff is there. Oh, this one's gone off. This is what annoys me about a personal account on eBay. eBay/Love Island All Stars. This is what eBay feels that it needs to tell me. In conjunction with ITV Studios, feel fierce for under £20. Honestly. I know that other people sell on personal accounts, but my personal account is dead. My business account is dead. I'm not putting the work in. I haven't had the time to put the work in. I haven't even got a diary or a calendar. I'm just using the planner for next year, which, let's face it, I can probably work off that planner for next year. I've got a slimline diary, but I think my problem is that, so I dropped my featured store in November because of the listing offer, and I think the thing is, when I had the featured store, it never bothered me, when you sell something and then the person goes, oh, can you cancel the sale? And then you have to relist it. I never really worried about that when I had 1,500 free listings. When you have 200 listings because you're on a basic store, I feel the pain of it. And it also makes me reluctant to end things and sell similar in the bulk that I used to do. But I was never afraid of doing it before, because I had this massive listings allowance, and now I'm feeling reluctant to do that. And although I had a system in place, it's just completely gone by the wayside. I know that it's also because I haven't found my place in terms of, getting on with stuff. But I would like to be able to get up at the time. If I could get up, join this 5 a.m. club and like do things. But if I was in the 5 a.m. club, I'd also be in the hospitalised club. It won't do me any good in the long term. I'll end up just burning myself out and being ill. Because if I get up too early, especially at this time of year, I don't even know why, but early mornings for me, I feel it here. I feel like I have to have a slow morning to not have bad asthma throughout the day, or to just have some kind of energy. But anyway, I haven't had the energy to get up and do a workout since I did a bit of it in December, but it's not happened since. And I need to find that motivation, but it certainly isn't there for me. I honestly feel that people who have a certain level of motivation are a certain type of person. They don't have like health issues. Whenever I've had bad health issues, it's always been the same months of the year, and it's usually around now. Sometimes I have bad episodes in November. All the parakeets are here. When the parakeets go on the bird feeder, they see you in here, they freak out. I really wish they would get used to us. Anyway, I need to do these. I need to have my breakfast and I need to get ready. I need to work out a way of stopping this hive under my nose itching. This started yesterday. They're always in conjunction with a heavy bleed. So on the progesterone only, what it says is you have scanty periods. And that would suggest to me that that a scanty period shouldn't be a problem. But Gloria would let me tell you, it was a problem yesterday when it happened. I have had 3 days off. I've had Friday, Saturday and Sunday where I didn't bleed, and then I had a heavy bleed yesterday at the point where I got to work. So I had to spend some time in the bathroom renegotiating the gusset. It's just annoying. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to start carrying knickers with me in case something occurs. But oh my God, the thing is, and I'm sure that most women who are watching this will agree, is the reason that we can deal with periods is because it's expected. But nobody expects it to be, 25 days out of 30 every month, and that's what I'm getting, and it's just annoying, and it's always surprise. The point of a period is it's predictable. You no, this is what's going to happen for this 5 to 7 days. Act accordingly, and I can't act accordingly. It's all just a mad surprise, and there's no way that I'm going into this for summer. You see, that's the other thing, is that it's now been, this would be like the 8th day. I contacted my doctor because they always say, don't contact us on the phone, use the online consult form and we'll get back to you quicker if you use the online consult form. Well, I filled in the online consult form last Monday and it is now the Tuesday. So that's an absolute fabrication. So I filled it in on the 6th. I waited until the 6th because I thought, and I don't think there's a possible, you can't open the online consult form unless it's office hours. So I did it on the Monday because I couldn't do it over the weekend or over Christmas. And then did that on the 6th, and it's now the 14th. So go figure. So I've had to scour the internet for information, and it says, after 6 months, this might calm down. So if I'm having this level of problems, then it's going to be 6 months. Nowhere can I find anything that is to do with the hives, which I'm getting, because obviously these hive breakouts are also really annoying. they're on my armpits, which is really annoying when you wear an underwire bra because it's like here. So that's annoying, and they go on, and I get them on my back as well. So, you know, I actually don't want this, because these are the sort of things that like scar, and then you just become a crusty 60 to 70-year-old. So I'm not massively like wanting to carry on with this, because frankly, I'm not willing to like stick it out for 6 months. The fact is I don't have a doctor at the end on the phone. I was promised that the nurse would be there for me if I needed her, and she's not. And I just feel like stopping taking everything altogether. But then I know that I'm going to be in even more of a sticky situation. The reason that I can't be on the other one is because of halo migraines or something like that, which I've had twice over a year ago. And the other reason is because of high blood pressure. But I've got high blood pressure because I'm getting angry. So this is giving me high blood pressure because I'm constantly bleeding. So I'm not going to be in a good place anyway. So yeah, I am going to do another video on Thursday, and I'm going to go through what I'm actually going to try and achieve, because obviously I've got to do something to wake up my eBay store, because it's in a car crash situation. Well, it's in a car crash situation. The car crash happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's just been left embedded in whatever wall it landed in, and nobody's dealt with it. So I need to start dealing with this Thursday, and then I'm working weekend, and then next week, the following week, I seem to have a number of days. Oh God, and then payday is going to be another 2 weeks. Oh. So I do need to like start dragging some money in, so that I can start think about paying my debt down, because I do need to do another video about what I'm going to actually do. And yeah, I've got so much that needs to happen. I said, okay, let's end the video on a positive. The positive thing is there's lots of people out there who are probably currently doing their tax return, or are going to do their tax return in the final week of January, aka in 2 weeks' time. I did my tax return in August, I think. Yeah, because I got a rebate. I got a tax rebate. So I did all mine. If it wasn't August, it was September, but I definitely did it then. So mine was all done and dusted. So when I say I'm behind on my accounts, what I mean is I need to do November, December, and I've got this month to keep me up to date. Because the thing is that you can't plan what's going on with your business unless you're on top of that. And I think that's why everything's always been a little bit harebrained, because I'm not on top of my figures as much as I should be. And people who do this well are on top of those figures. So yeah, there is a bit of a car crash going on here, but I have got some good stuff. I've got some good stuff to list. So I've got things that I can do to get eBay going. But it's just time. The last time I processed anything new was, when was it? It wasn't the 31st. I did a whole load of listing, I think on the 28th of December, and I was very efficient that day, because in my head I was like, I could get these sold while there's still no listing fees. And I think I prepped them and I ironed them that day, and then I photographed them and I listed them all in one day. So it is possible to be motivated. It's just sometimes it's very easy to shelve that motivation, and that isn't in the ethos of, number one, running a business or getting things done. Especially if I'm working near full-time hours, I do need to have a process. I have 3 days off. I work 4 days and I have 3 days off. So it is possible for me to do things. It's just this last week, it fell on a weekend and I was unconscious most of it. I intended to do stuff this weekend, but I was unconscious. And And if my body needs to be unconscious in January, I'll let it be unconscious, because it's probably doing vital immune system work, which I'm unaware of. Anyway, too much rambling. This is going on here on YouTube now. If you want to tune in again, I will try. I will be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday with an update. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon.